So we have a special episode of it's actually Rik and Nick, I guess, in the midday.
Hey, yeah. We're bright and bushy-tailed now.
I wouldn't say that for me. I still feel like shit, but yeah, it's 1:56 p.m. here in Cali.
Nice.
Just having a nice day, chill day.
Yeah, just woke up at about 10. I reheated a breakfast burrito from yesterday, and
Dang.
I refurbished it. Like, I kind of cut it all up so it was in a different form. And then I Instagrammed that and told everyone I made myself breakfast. So that made me feel pretty cool.
Put that on Snap, dude.
Yeah, and they're like, "Whoa, you scrambled eggs now? Like, what?" Damn, dude. Didn't know you were such an adult.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I feel like a lot of people underestimate how hard it is to get a good scramble.
Oh, dude, cooking eggs is one of the hard... You ever seen that documentary, Hero Dreams of Sushi?
Yeah, I love that.
Dude, he said that...
I cried during that.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. That guy said that someone needs to be a cook for him for 3 years before he even lets them cook an egg, dude. Because it's like... There's like a crazy art form to that shit. To perfect it. I mean, anyone can cook one, but to really cook one, you gotta know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, like my default go-to for cooking eggs is I just cook them in the bacon grease. And that way, like, if they look shitty, it's like I'm like, blame the bacon.
Right, and then you're like, if they look shitty, they're covered in bacon grease, so like you're gonna like the way they taste. Trust.
Exactly, trust. These are horrible for you, but you're gonna like them.
Yeah, that's why I cook my eggs in milkshakes.
You just get a cold, like a fresh dairy DQ Blizzard and just throw it in there.
Dude, what's your favorite kind of Blizzard? Like, what's your favorite mix-in? Would you say?
See, I'm not really a sweets guy, but like,
yeah.
I'm a huge Dippin' Dots guy. I have weird sweet, I guess, for lack of a better word, fetishes in the dessert realm. But as far as mix-ins for a DQ Blizzard, I'd say like probably I don't want to admit it, but I'll admit it.
Dude, full disclosure.
I'm a big sprinkles guy.
Wow.
Just classic, birthday sprinkles.
So more rainbow or chocolate?
Yeah, rainbow sprinkles.
Yeah.
I'm a big rainbow guy, cause the chocolate ones sometimes come at you too heavy.
Yeah, they're all one kind of... Well, I guess the rainbow ones are
all one flavor too. They're just sugar.
Yeah, they just have some different colors.
I don't know. I'm not like a sprinkles expert, but I'd like to say that I am.
So they give it some texture, some crunch, and then just a little bit of extra sweetness.
I just like vanilla ice cream, dude. I'm like, if I'm going ice cream, my go-to, hands down, only ice cream that I actually will crave because I don't like sweets that much.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like I like sour sweet. I don't know. It's weird, but
right.
My go-to, for instance, with ice cream though, is mint chip.
Ooh.
Because I love those like little shards of chocolate that are in the mint ice cream, and then just like you get that like awesome crunch, and it's like just really satisfying. Like you let it melt in your mouth for a few seconds, and then you're like, oh, there's the chocolate.
Yeah, dude. Yo, you ever had a like mint Oreo where it's like Oreo ice cream, but it's mint with its Oreo chunks?
No,
and
that
mint
sounds
ice cream?
Amazing though.
It's hella good, dude.
Does it have that? Does it retain the crunch of the cookie?
Oh yes, definitely. They have it. It's a popular flavor in this place in Santa Cruz that I used to go to. I loved it. But dude, do you know?
I need you to show me around Santa Cruz sometime. I've never been to Santa Cruz.
What? You seem like a dude who would have definitely been to Santa Cruz. No offense.
Thank you.
Or I mean, you're like
I'll take it as a compliment.
You're a chiller,
Yeah. At least you didn't say Laguna Beach.
No,
Laguna
Santa Cruz,
Beach is dope.
You would definitely find your niche in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, or I'd throw away 9 years of sobriety from heroin.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
One of the two. One of the two. That's like, he was like, dude, just don't go under any bridges, man.
Oh, dude. That's some real shit, man. A lot of crazy stuff happens under those bridges. By the levee, dude. Yikes.
The levee.
Dude,
Makes it sound like it's a Midwestern town.
I was on the bus the other day because I don't have a car.
Dude, you were telling me about you met some legend, right?
Yeah, there was this cool guy, man. You know those guys who just have so much swag that like they just kind of like have this energy, man.
Like an aura.
Yeah, dude. So I was on the bus. There's this, clearly homeless guy, right? Probably in his.
What do you like by that? Just mean he just looked very disheveled.
Well, yeah, his
like
clothes were dirty. He looked like his
more than I look.
Oh yeah, dude. Like you'd need a good 2 years of this lifestyle, and then with maybe like a shower once every couple months to like get on this dude's level.
All right, well,
and also
at least
be
I'm
outside
on the right path.
Yeah, dude. Just keep
going.
going.
I just gotta add in outside.
Reach for that tree.
Yeah, I'm going for the homeless.
But he's one of those homeless guys where it's like he's homeless, but he's still cool as fuck, and that for sure, even though he's very obviously homeless, he could walk into a bar and in an hour leave with a pretty hot girl and go home to her house.
What?
Like he's just like a traveler.
Was he like,
and
is he like a handsome nomad?
Well, he wasn't. He was like ruggedly homeless handsome. Kind of guy. Like if he cleaned himself way up, he would probably be a pretty good looking dude.
If he like went and hit the showers at the YMCA,
yeah,
and just like
got
maybe
like
trimmed
some
his
normal
beard
clothes
and stuff, yeah.
Well, I mean, dude, I was sitting on the bus.
Girls are about that, though.
Oh, yeah. He was already flirting with some girl right there on the bus, dude.
And, like, casually. He
probably
didn't even care. He's like,
oh, yeah.
He's like, this girl's all about me.
Yeah.
I could use a good meal, but I don't care.
Right. He's like, I got people to meet under the bridge.
I got golf to play.
But so I was talking to this other guy, and I mentioned Santa Cruz, and then this guy piped in, just kind of sitting there with his guitar and all his bags and stuff.
Where were you guys all like situated?
So he was sitting in those sideways seats where like the old people and handicapped people sit. Okay. Because he had a bunch of bags and his guitar and all this stuff that he needed to
he was like man spreading.
Yeah, oh for sure. And then I was like kind of in the first normal set of seats.
Field day with that.
Oh yeah, but he had there weren't that many people on the bus, so there was plenty of room. And then there was another guy who was talking to me about golf, like for whatever reason, and so. Me and this guy were kind of talking. He was kind of like a chatty guy, so I would have just happily sat there in silence. But this guy really wanted to talk to me about golf, which I barely know anything about. Anyways, he
like the game or like pros, like what's going on.
Well, he like manages golf courses, so he was talking about like his experience in like the world of golf. And stuff.
I need to write down a note to never manage a golf course, or else I will be taking the bus.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like. I understand you have some prestigious job, but why the fuck are you on the bus with me right now?
Like, Doug.
Like, something must have gone awry somewhere down the road.
Like, to be honest, there's no shame in the bus. It just usually means that you either got a DUI or crashed your car or both.
Or are a drug addict or are...
a suave homeless dude.
Yeah.
Who just, maybe he picks up chicks, just rides the bus all day, like... It's only $1.70, or it's like what, $2.25?
Yeah, it depends on like how far you're going.
It depends on if you take the RTA or the city.
Yeah, you could get like a day pass for like $5.
Have you ever considered just getting a bus pass?
I don't take it enough. I would be losing money because I don't take it enough for it to be worth it for me. Says
the guy who Ubers to work sometimes.
Well, yeah, because. I would still be Ubering in that situation because I don't have enough time to make it to the bus station.
That's true. That's just funny though.
So, I mean,
have you taken the double decker before? I've been wanting.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
You haven't seen the double decker city bus?
No.
I think it was made. It's like it's not like an outside. The top isn't like it's not like a true like major shout out UK.
Yeah.
It's not like a true double decker where it's like open
Those red
top.
ones?
It's like open top, yeah. But it's like just a 2-story bus.
Wow.
And I've seen it, and I've had bus envy.
So you like go upstairs?
You walk upstairs, and there's like a whole another bus, basically.
That's dope.
But I'm pretty sure it exclusively only runs to Cal Poly. Like it has a route that it picks up, and then like I think there's one or two of them maybe. And it runs just like a route that goes Like it always it's basically going to Cal Poly. Like within every hour, it always goes to Cal Poly, and that's why they did the double decker design, because they were like, assuming that like students combined with like just people who are just taking the bus.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want there to be actually people standing and stuff. Because I've been on like the RTA, for instance, was nuts. Like when I used to have to take the bus out to Cuesta.
Yeah.
I did that for like 8 years, or not 8 years, 8 months.
Damn, dude, super duper senior.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it took me almost 7 years to get my degree, but that was because I dropped out after my first semester and then didn't return for 6 years.
Right.
So.
But getting to Cuesta was crazy.
Dude, it was insane. This would take forever. It was like an hour. Like, if I was super lazy and wanted to take the city bus from my parents' house where I was staying at the time, to downtown where like the transit center is at the courthouse.
Yeah.
Where you pick up all the RTA buses that go like outside of the city.
Yeah.
I'd have to wake up like, I'd have to be at the bus stop like literally like. My class didn't start for like 2.5 hours, and I'm like going to the bus stop. Just because of the fact that I had to take the bus from there to downtown, and then from downtown to Cuesta took like, it was like 45 minutes because of just the timing and just the fact that you have to drive down the one and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, if I would ride, what I would do if I was motivated was I started riding my bike downtown.
Uh-huh.
And then I'd just lock it up at the courthouse and then hop on the RTA there. And that let me sleep in for like another extra hour and stuff. Nice. So it's kind of like it was kind of like like, do I want to sleep in or do I want to like not have to ride a bike?
Yeah. Was there ever any worry that someone would steal your bike?
No, because it's slow, and also because it's in front of the courthouse. I feel like if you're stealing bikes in front of the courthouse, like, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Like, you deserve that bike if you get away with that.
Yeah, like, major shout out to you. Like, if I come back to just my frame, or, like, my front wheel, like, connected to the bike rack, yeah, cool. Like, you just stole a bike in front of this courthouse in broad daylight. Like, you should be robbing casinos if you can do that kind of shit. You should be on Ocean's 11. Yeah, like, yeah. Why are you here, Danny? Come on, Danny.
This guy one time stole a bike out in front of the courthouse in slow, so that's all we need to know.
Yeah.
So let's look at these diamonds, boys.
Yeah. Let's go hit Tom and Cage, this jewelers. We'll go fucking do a heist on that. No, actually, I didn't mean to derail your story either. I just got all hyped up on my bus journeys. Basically, like I was.
Wait, have you ridden the double decker one?
No, that's why I'm curious.
Yeah.
It's because I want to see, because it'd be kind of fun to like roll through slow, like on the second story of a building.
Hell yeah, dude!
That moves.
Didn't it like crash?
Like, we could
just
one of those
crash or something?
Turn up.
One time, like it went like the wrong way, and there was like a bridge or something.
Here in slow.
It might not have been in slow, but I heard it was like in the news a little while ago.
I've heard of people. I've heard of like cities that have done the same thing. Like they've gotten the double decker bus, and then they didn't realize that like one of their freeway exits like doesn't have the clearance for that, yeah. And so it just gets like wedged in there.
The driver was like, "We're going for it." He's like, "I'm gonna speed up."
He's like Luke Skywalker, just dipping into the Death Star. Like, we're going to the trench.
Everyone duck.
Yeah. Major like fucking R2. You got this, bud. It's funny because, like, the way the technology is advancing, like, I could totally see people having R2s. Because, like, essentially R2 is, like, Luke Skywalker's like smartphone.
Yeah, he was like Siri or like
Alexa.
Alexa, dude.
I don't even like to say that name.
He's like R2. Play some Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah. You're like R2. Play songs that sound like Gucci Gang,
but not actual Gucci Gang.
And then R2's like, boop, 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 boop. But it's like in reality, like you pick that up as like, I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? You know, like it'll like, can't find song or playing song Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang by Tekashi 6ix9ine. And like, yeah, so that literally, if you think about it, like that's actually an interesting way of thinking about it. like droids in Star Wars are just essentially like, what's up, Zaza? Oh, we got a special guest in the pod, Zaza.
Zaz.
Please don't ruin this wire.
Oh, dude, she's gonna have all kinds of melee with that damn wire, dude.
Yeah, see, she took the higher road.
Yeah, this time. She did it because we were watching her, dude. She's gonna make a run at it right before you make a really funny joke. And it won't get picked up at all. And then we'll just start screaming.
It will. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, anyway, back to my homeless guy.
Yeah, sorry about
story.
derailing that.
No, it's alright.
I just remember there like the buses to Cuesta were just really overcrowded.
Yeah.
And there's no air conditioning on the RTA.
Oh, there's no AC on. Yeah.
I think there's air on the newer ones.
Yeah.
On the city buses, but I know what you mean. Like, it's horrible in the summer.
Yeah, and then they're not to talk bad about any of the citizens or people coming and going through Santa Cruz, but there tend to be a smellier population of folks that take the bus.
Yeah.
So, like, that's a factor, too. Sometimes it's cold, but you still want to open a window just to air things out a little bit.
Yeah, just, like, breathe through your shirt.
Yeah. But, so I was talking to... so this guy, he's like, oh, you're from Santa Cruz. Like, yeah, I lived there for a couple years, and he was cool because he was just one of those guys that he's like traveled all over America, and the one thing that he said that I thought...
How old do you think he was?
He was...
Sorry.
I mean, being homeless, I think makes you age a little bit more than normal. Yeah. But he could have been anywhere from like 28 to like 38. I feel like.
So he's like a cool dude.
Yeah, and he had like a cool hat. He had like a toothpick. He looked
he had a toothpick.
Like, he looked like he was out of a movie.
Yeah, that's a dang dude. That's something that we should bring back, dude.
And then he's what did he say? He's like yeah, like I used to live in Santa Cruz, and then he's like he kind of said like something to the effect of I'm gonna have to say something to acknowledge that clearly I'm homeless, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a fucking cool dude. So he said, some people call me homeless, but he's like, I call myself someone who's like broken free from like a cage or some shit like that.
That's fucking deep.
And he's like
I like that.
He's like, the world is my home or something. Everyone's like, all right,
the world's everyone's
this
home.
Guy's cool.
This guy's picking up on
yeah,
things.
and he was funny too because he's like, yeah, we used to hang out like out by the levee, and
the levee.
Me and a bunch of the kids would
That's
just
probably how he got homeless.
Like, we'd just be playing music, passing a bottle around, and I like that he just acknowledged, he's like, yeah, I drink, like, for fun, like, don't judge me,
Yeah, I temporarily poison myself and play music with friends.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm homeless, like, what do you expect? I fucking love to drink. So, I thought that was cool, that he just kind of acknowledged that.
Is that how he just introduced himself?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm nomadic.
Yeah, he did, dude. And so he was just kind of telling us all tales, all the bus folk tales about like how he used to. He was telling us the difference between crawfish and crawdads, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Wait, tell me.
So crawfish is a more edible.
Are they called
thing.
crayfish or crawfish?
I think you can say either, but the cray or crawfish are bigger. And they're like what you might get in like a restaurant.
They're like lobster.
He
size.
said, he said they're a cross between a crawdad and a lobster.
So like a crawdad was just in heat, or and met
it's like a mule,
a craw or a craw woman, a craw mother,
a craw lady.
Yeah, a craw lady was in heat and
craw dude,
and like a little lobster just kind of snuck in there.
Yeah, with his claws.
Yeah, and just rooster tailed
big
her.
Lobster hands.
Yeah. He Zoidberged her.
Dude, that needs to be like the word of 2019. Zoidberg as a verb.
Zoid lives matter.
That
that poor lobster, man.
Yeah,
but
man.
Okay, so I'm interested in this crawdad thing because it's actually a useless piece of knowledge.
Yeah.
That I would love to know.
Yeah.
So, crayfish, crawfish are lobster hybrids.
Well, I don't know if they're necessarily an actual mix of the two, like genetically, but he said just basically the way they look, like they look like a cross between...
Are they larger?
Yeah, they're larger and maybe have more lobster characteristics than a crawdad. Crawdads are more prevalent in like
ponds,
swamps. Yeah, yeah. He said,
I bet you we have hell of them in here.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can like find them just walking around.
I bet you die like the moment you ate one of those.
Yeah.
In our lake, dude.
We should just boil some and see what happens. Hear them scream.
That's fucked up, but
and then eat them though. I mean, perhaps. And
isn't the screaming just the release of gas, or is that just what chefs tell you so that you don't know that they're suffering?
I mean, I don't know if a scientist has ever went and figured out if it's the screams are coming from their like pain and terror, or if it's just. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't speak Craw, so
yeah, maybe we should get Zoidberg to come in and help us figure that out.
Yeah, like a third party, neutral third.
Yeah,
party.
I've never been much. You know, I grew up in the suburbs.
Scallops, and like I'm not
all the wacky.
I consider them. They're like insects of the sea.
Yeah,
that's why I don't.
I like shrimp a lot, but if you think about it, it's just like a big like spider
dude,
that swims in the ocean.
Yeah, and
like a big lice or something.
And like, have you ever seen a shrimp when it's pulled like right out of the ocean?
Oh yeah, they're gross.
It's disgusting. They're like literally like the bottom feeders of the sea.
Yeah, they eat like
and
shit.
And then yeah, exactly. They eat shit, and then they still have shit in them. Like you have to pull the entrail out.
Yeah.
But like, who knows? Who's like think of like the way I see it is like think about like your first jobs and like when you were growing up. Like there's times when you're just like. I would never like intentionally like do something that was not sanitary, but it was like yeah, I just cleaned out the icing machine at the movie theater, but like I'm also gonna go scoop your popcorn because people come out for concessions or something. Like I was like 16 years old,
right? And
people come out for concessions or whatever in the middle of the movies, which was like more rare, so it'd kind of catch you off guard.
Yeah,
but, like.
You're like busy on your phone.
But like, yo, I'm cleaning out the icing machine because that shit gets nasty, dude. Dude, that's the other thing is like, even at like my old job at Tennis Warehouse, major shout out, you guys are really cool, but you guys need to fix your black mold problem on your ice machine because like it was a problem. Like no one, because there's no one actively checking on it really. And so, like, I remember at a certain point, like, I went to go scoop for the ice, and I was like, what the fuck? There's, like, black shit in this. And then I look at, like, the roof of the ice machine.
Yeah.
It looks like, it's just, like, it's kind of, like, similar to, like, there. But, like, it's, but I mean, like, you could just see, like mold.
Yeah.
Just straight up. Yeah. And hundreds of people a day. That maybe 1,000, like, not 1,000 actual individuals, but, like, 100 people are going into that 3 times a day and just scooping out ice and this thing's just like dripping out black mold onto the ice and like no one gives a fuck. Well, that's the thing, that's probably gonna be one of the things I bet you that like the people like kids like in generations ahead of us are gonna be like, dude, those idiots, like why do they not respect the mold? Like how did you not understand that like ingesting the particles and stuff is like what's making you die?
Right. Well, dude, I'm sure whenever the guy came in and installed that machine, he's like, "Now listen, everybody. So you have to come with this brush and like change the water and filter all this stuff and clean it once every week, And it's not easy, and I know that no one wants to do it, but you got to do it, or else it'll get all fucked up." And everyone's like, "Okay, sure, we'll do it."
And then
no one ever does it.
Yeah, well, then in the case of our work, they put the guy with autism in control of that. Like, and I don't mean to like make fun of people with autism, but like, so like they do this thing where it's like it's called the Achievement House, and it's like they like let people like they hire people that are like. They're not necessarily autistic.
Like disabled?
I'll take that back. They're not. He's not autistic.
Autistic people would be good at doing shit like that because they're like not socially good, but they're good at like doing tasks and things like that.
Yeah, but it's more like it's
like just, developmentally disabled or something.
It's not even that. It's just like kind of. It's like he's like one of the nicest people I've ever known.
Yeah.
I won't mention him by name, but it's like anyone who knows me would know who I'm talking about, but he's like literally like one of the nicest, kindest like people know. He's kind of reminds me of, like Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
like he's just like he's like, you know, someone asked him like, "Are you crazy? You just playing stupid?" He's like, "Stupid is as stupid does."
Right.
Ma'am. And he's like a nice person.
Yeah,
he's
right.
Like a cool dude. And, like,
Yeah.
plays video games, like chills, drinks, smokes. But like, that's not the person that you should put in charge of like sanitation and like things that require like, hey, this looks like it's maybe not healthy for everyone that works here.
Yeah. Or all the like just everyone.
Yeah, like it's just not a good thing to have, like, because I would be a bad person in that department too, because I'd be lazy as hell. I'd be like, I'll just make ice cubes like the old fashioned way in a tray.
Yeah.
I don't need an ice machine, because
Right.
the thing is just literally at like a frozen temperature constantly. Like, it's like a constantly wet shower or constantly. It's just basically like a factory farm for mold. But yeah. I don't know how I went off on that tangent, but it was just funny because it was like, I just think it's so ridiculous how sometimes like we'll put like the worst people in charge. It's the same kind of thing with like how it's not like the exact same thing, but like it's similar. Did you know? I'm sure you've heard this, but did you know that like sometimes like if you score too high on like an IQ test in the military or in the police academy, they won't hire you.
Really? Yeah, well, because you'll question like authority probably.
Exactly.
And won't be easily,
exactly. They
like,
can't break you in boot camp.
Damn, dude, that reminds me of like something that I heard on like, actually I think you were looking at it. It was on the conspiracy thing. It was
of course
the thing where they said that like CIA and like FBI, they like recruit people from like Mormon colleges and stuff.
Yeah,
and then
so they're like indoctrinated
because like, well, if these people are so heavily indoctrinated into this very like strict and like different religion that's like different from like the rest of like normal society, that they're probably going to be very easily manipulated into like believing this thing and never questioning it.
I wonder if they've ever tapped into the Amish culture. Maybe they're just like, hey dude, like let's
as long as they don't use any electricity, they'll be hella good.
Let's get James Bethlehem to like, you know, I don't know, he could do like, because the Amish like went on to like, they started using cars, like they do like, they have horse-drawn carriages still.
Yeah, it depends. They're all kind of each community I think is a little bit different. There's, you know, more progressive ones and then really old school ones that are still exactly the way they were like in the 18
like
or
they won't
1700s
even
or whatever.
They won't even like
I mean, I'm sure some of them use cell phones and shit, but then there's a lot who
I wonder how they explain that. They're like, yo, we can't use any of these really cool luxuries, but this is an emergency phone in case you need to reach me.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be late back, if I'm you know, shucking corn and I'm gonna be a little bit late, I'll tell you to like, you know, not start the afternoon tea until I get there.
Yeah.
Like they're talking on like an iPhone like 10X.
Yeah. They're like, just never look up porn on it too.
Yeah. Like that's what causes the downward spiral.
Yeah. That's the fucking seed that just goes in and then the whole Amish lifestyle is
just falls
forever.
apart. Yeah.
Once they get their hands on that shit.
Well, it's like, I just wonder like, how was it? Like, cause I see pictures like on Reddit and stuff, which obviously is like it's so funny that like Reddit was actually founded by like one of like the most extreme alt-right people of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like him and then the guy who killed himself, Ohanan.
Well, there's the guy who's married to like Serena Williams, right?
Yeah, he's one of them. Do not fuck with this cable, Zaza.
Oh, she's dancing a.
She just needs to learn.
Dangerous
It's like the
dance.
tea.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, you can get in my lap.
She just wants some attention.
But like, so like I've seen things where it's like, you know, people will be like, post pictures on Reddit and pics and they'll get like 40,000 likes because it's like, I was in like this really poor area of Africa and like I showed them YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's just like them being like swarmed by children.
Yeah.
Like, someone did that with, like, an Amish thing. They were like... But, like, I feel like that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it's different when you're, like, doing, like, a charitable service. I feel like in Africa, like, if you're, like, there building, like, wells or, like, teaching them, like, you know, how to read and write, just doing something like that, and then you just happen to have technology on you.
Right.
But, like, when you're just flexing on the Amish... You know what I'm talking about? Like I was like, I think I even said on the picture, I commented like unnecessary flex. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like,
can that be like the new name of our podcast? Flexing on the Amish.
Yeah, I do have power of changing all the titles, and so yeah, so we'll be flexing on the dude. Yeah, let's actually call that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's
like when we do our. I'll call this podcast
yeah,
flexing on the
yeah.
Amish,
You can name
episode
name each
3.
podcast. Yeah, all right, cool.
Because I feel like everything doesn't need to be like episode 1, 2, 3, 4. We could do like a Twilight Zone thing.
Right. So you think that's fucked up to just be like, hey guys, like check out all this shit you're missing out on?
Yeah, because like the picture is literally this girl who's like, I had my like Canon XLR camera or DSLR camera, and like I was showing them like YouTube and high definition stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you just like literally whipped out your like camera of a cock or cock of a camera, and like we're just like, hey, check out all this shit you can't use because your parents are like fiercely religious.
I think that there's a like in when people do that, it's like they have this intention of being like, look at like how cool this thing is that I have. It's like I have all this power and stuff. You know, it's like over you in some sense. It's like I'm some sort of like god that like.
Dude, right?
That has this thing that you
like
can
a
never
God
have.
complex.
You know, yeah. It's not like that comes out of nothing of being kind or like, or showing them something cool. It's just like, hey, like check out this cool thing that only I can have and you can't.
And then let alone, and then you add it. Then you add in like the narcissistic factor of like the fact that you're like, yo, Tim, come get a picture of me doing this.
Right, so I can put it on fucking social media.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's funny because I bet you the person who posted it is just reposting it from someone else.
Oh,
so they're just like, dude, I'm gonna like think about like that chain reaction of like just like narcissism.
Yeah,
people are just like,
it's tough.
Let's just capitalize on this.
Right.
But like, I just feel like it's worse to do that to like someone it's like actually their religion. That'd be like if I were to go to anyone I know who has kids' house. Anyone I know who has a kid's house that's like in like you know, he's like a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, dude, check out this site. Check out incognito mode, and then check out Pornhub, dude.
Right.
And you'll be happy, and your dad won't know.
Right.
That's like essentially what they're
like,
doing when you're showing Amish kids, like when you're getting swarmed by Amish kids,
right?
And you're like flexing your DSLR camera and your smartphone and everything,
right?
It's like essentially showing like a chill,
like a Christian...
a chill teenage kid, like Pornhub and
right.
incognito mode. You're like, dude, now your dad's not gonna see that you looked up, like you were trying to find Britney Spears nudes and stuff.
Right. Well, it's definitely like there's
that was definitely not from personal experience.
there's like the cool uncle thing of like, you know, if you're the cool uncle and you
we're
like
both gonna be cool uncles.
You're like, hey, here's my old Playboys that you can look at. You know, like I definitely had experiences like that.
You
with,
already
like,
are a cool uncle.
Older, yeah, exactly. But I'm not defiling or I'm not like. Like fucking up my nephew's
well, it's a
brain
baby.
yet. He's 2, so I can't really. I can't show him old Playboys yet. But one day I will, when the time is right.
You gotta start him off on like Victoria's Secrets. When
He'll probably be like, "Dude, I've been looking at porn for years."
Yeah,
he's like, "Throw that shit in the trash."
Yeah, by the time he's going through puberty, he'll be wearing his like Oculus Rift. And be like, he won't even see you. he'll just be like
listening to whatever crazy fucking music is out.
Yeah, I feel like
that. Like everyone over like 20 will just say this is like rotting your brain.
It's like, dude, I don't need Victoria's Secret. Like, I just got a POV blowjob from Mia Miley on my Rift. And
POV blowjob.
That's because it's a thing, dude.
No, I know.
Like,
Trust me, I know.
Pornhub has a VR section.
I know, I've seen it.
I want to watch it in VR.
Oh, God.
I might buy a Rift, but the thing...
But then you got to get a fleshlight, too.
Of the same girl. Of like different
Yeah,
girl.
dude. You can feel the difference. You're like, this is not Amy and Miley at all, dude. I know that pussy.
Or you're like, yo, like, I don't think this is Asa Akira's butt. I think this is her vagina.
Dude, you know what would be a great goof to do? Is take a bunch of total fucking pervert losers who, like, use all of those like actual pussy flaps that are modeled after porn stars and give them like the Pepsi challenge and like blindfold them and see if they fuck like 5 of them, if they can tell which one is like,
dude, that's
their
such
favorite
a good idea. Dude, that's such
asshole.
A good idea. That reminds me of like the same kind of thing where like remember when they got all the sommeliers?
Yeah,
and like and
gave
like
them a
and half of them picked like boxed wine.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were like, this is amazing.
Right, exactly.
Like, where is this? Is this from Tuscany?
Dude, we would, if we ever did a thing like that,
that'd be such a
weird
test
would come after us, dude. They'd send their goons after us. They'd be like, you guys are trying to take down the rubber asshole industry.
Dude, that's like, I feel like porn goons probably have so much money. It's like, think about, like, porn is literally, like, I think it is statistically, like, the most watched thing.
Oh, on the internet. Well,
like,
before social media became a thing, it was always the #1 thing. And, like, I remember watching The Daily Show in, like, 2000.
No one, like, logs their porn, like, calories. They're like,
right.
This morning I had 2 poached eggs, and then I rubbed one out to Jenny Lee. Like, I watched a sweet James Dean Beds Down and Mia Miley.
Oh, man.
Like, no one logs their porn rate, so who knows how much porn's been watched.
Right.
And that's why it's ridiculous that, like, I don't know, that's a whole new venture, because no one wants to, like, really, like, admit it, but it's like...
I think you know, the the porn companies, obviously they log it, so I think that it's, you can go in and track, like, how much porn is being watched, you know, online and whatnot,
dude,
versus other uses of websites. Google, you know,
browsers wanted to sponsor a CS:GO team, like, and have like their we'll leave in like 5.
Okay.
And like they had like they wanted to have like the logo, like just straight up like the browsers logo on the jersey.
Yeah.
And like
they wouldn't do it.
They like browsers, like they're just basically like, I think ESL are like a bunch of like the tournament organizers were like, no, because like their market is still children.
Oh right, yeah, that I can see why they would not really be into that.
But I mean, like, browsers is ready to just be like, yo, dude, we'll like bankroll you, like we got porn goon money. But it's true. It's like they have so much money, and they're like, dude, if we just get that logo out and just like flex it hard, because that logo is iconic.
Dude, browsers is already a meme too.
Well, yeah,
you know?
well, and also
like which kids all use,
which is hilarious too, because I think Pornhub also, when the NBA started putting logos on their jerseys like a year or 2 ago, Pornhub put in a bid, and they had like a significantly higher bid than the next highest bidder. Like everyone else, like, you know, they had like, I think the highest bidder was like Make-A-Wish Foundation. Like
there's like General Electric has
and then like
Boston,
I think I forget which one. It's like a sports. It's someone affiliated with Oracle Arena, like Rakuten or something. Yeah, sponsors the Warriors and stuff. But like Pornhub just wanted to have Pornhub.com on a jersey. Yeah, and like their offer was literally almost double like the next guy behind them. Yeah, but the NBA was just like, nah, I'm sorry,
dude. You know,
like, but dude, how dope would it be? You have like a Dwayne Wade, like Miami Pornhub jersey.
There's no way, dude. There's no amount of money.
I only picked that because he's on his farewell tour. There was no disrespect at all to Dwayne Wade. He's happily married, and he's got a wife that he loves. He has a wife he loves. But I'm just putting that out there. I really like those jerseys. I just thought of that out of the blue.
But dude, they can't pay enough money that would negate how much bad press the NBA would get for being like, well, they paid the right price, so now we're like advertising for porn, even though half of our audience is like kids and shit.
And half
So
the
people
audience is gonna go crank one out.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
They're not gonna say
it. Doesn't matter because like all the news and media and all the like people who send letters to fucking magazines and write into newspapers would freak out about it and shit.
Yeah,
all the people who freaked out,
all dozen of them.
Yeah, well, the people who freaked out about Janet Jackson's tit would have a fucking
I still don't even remember. Like that's the thing is they made such a big deal out of it, out of Janet Jackson's tit. But I don't even remember really like what it looked like. Like
dude, it had a pasty on it. It wasn't her naked nipple.
Oh, so it just did a little jog.
Yeah, and it was clearly a fake boob too. So it didn't even look like a. It was like a doll boob. It looked weird.
Yeah, that's the thing is people made such a big deal out of that, and they're like, "Oh my god, my kid's gonna be scarred for life." If you were to like give me a pen and paper and ask me to draw Janet Jackson's nipple,
I could. I mean, I could, but I think, dude, the thing that's funny is like them making a big deal about it only draws more attention to it. Whereas if no one gave a fuck, everyone would just forget about it. No one would care.
Exactly.
You know,
like 9/11.
Yeah, like why'd they make such a big deal? Like the terrorists win when we all have to take our shoes off at the airport, man.
Yeah, that's a good statement. Like it's not. You're not wrong. Actually, I'm just gonna rock pajamas. I don't have to get out of the car. Dude,
one more thing before we go, because Nick has to take me to work. I was reminded when you said your favorite thing in ice cream is sprinkles. Mm. Do you know what people in the Midwest call sprinkles? It's kind of
flakes.
No, jimmies.
Oh,
they're like, hey, I want some more jimmies on my ice cream.
I would think of condoms, like Jimmy.
Yeah, well, that's
Jimmy hats.
Yeah, put a condom on. Put a hat on your Jimmy. Dude. So anyway, next time you think of fucking sprinkles, man, think of condoms.
All right, and we'll close on that one. Thanks for listening. Have a great rest of your day.